Inks and Issues. This is a bonus episode live from my house.
Live from Jonah's house with me.
Yeah, with Kieran.
I'm here.
Kieran is staying with me up until tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. or something?
4 a.m., yes.
Fun. So we've been doing lots of cool stuff.
Heaps of cool stuff, actually.
So, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? This is just a chill.
This
is the chill-isode.
This is the chill-isode, yeah. I mean, well, I figured we should do like what we did last year, where I think we got really drunk and talked about Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
And we talked about what we did. And then the year before that, when you drove down to Portland for like 1 billion hours.
All right.
And then we talked about pickles.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, we got to do like another holiday update and be like, this is the cool shit we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we tried to actually plan some stuff for once. So we went to Mount St. Helens.
We did.
Which was, if you're not familiar, it is a volcano that erupted in May 18th of 1980, which was the day I came home from the hospital. Because I was born with a congenital heart defect, so I was in the hospital for several days after being born. So that was the day they actually had to take me home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a really cool drive. And
it was very fun, I have to say. It was 3.5 hours or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like 2, but then traffic.
Traffic, yeah. But it was a very, very fun drive. We had, obviously, me and Jonah, and Brittany.
Yes.
Your wife.
Uh-huh.
That's me supposed to say my wife.
Oh,
but
my wife.
My wife. And we had your 2 kids. Yes. And we also had Steph.
Yes.
From Cthulhu and Friends.
Right.
She was with us.
Yeah, that was really cool that she got to come out from Eastern Washington and
Spokane?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
See us out here. So that was really fun.
Yeah, no, we had a great time having a bit of a road trip.
Right. Sing-alongs,
yeah. And we stopped at like a picnic table and had sandwiches.
Yeah. It was like a family trip.
It was. I mean, it was, basically.
It was good.
Yeah. Actually, no. We stopped at the forest center, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And we learned all about the trees around that got knocked down.
Met a guy named Keith.
Oh, man. Keith was fucking so legit.
Yeah.
We got 3 minutes in before I dropped an F-bomb. So Keith was real legit. I loved Keith so much. Keith was like this old guy that Steph and I ended up talking to. And he lived in the area around Mount St. Helens when he was growing up, and he like went fishing with his dad, and he was telling us about how like he went to a concert for, I think it was the band, as in like the band. And he was like, we went out and we went to the concert, and we came out and he said something like the equivalent would be like a suit, but it was something much older than that because, he was like 1,000 years old.
Right.
And he's like, we went to that and then we just went straight out there and we just fished, and, it wasn't really fishing. It was just catching because it was so many fish. And,
wow.
And then he was like, and now it's all gone. Now it's all gone after the eruption. And he's like, that's what it's about. It's about what's in here. And he was like tapping on his chest where his heart was. And he had like a little tear running down his face. And I was like, damn, this is the real shit. Yeah. This is the real shit right here. And then, and this is the part that really got me, he was like, he shook my hand and he's like, thanks so much for coming out here and making the time to talk to me and hear my stories. And I was like, man, it is my friggin' pleasure to do that. Like, that's the best part about traveling. That's why I like staying with friends. Because, you hear, like, interesting stories from people all the time. And, traveling by yourself is cool and everything because you can do your own thing. But it's always better to stay with friends because you get to experience it through them. Yeah. So thanks, Keith. You're the real shit.
Yeah. He's the real MVP of the trip.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. The actual center was also pretty cool, but it was real foggy, so we couldn't actually see the mountain peak, but everything else was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They actually have this movie you watch where it talks about the eruption, and then it has this really cool finale where like there's a curtain behind the projector screen and it opens, and it's supposed to open onto like a perfect view of Mount St. Helens.
Yeah. But the crater where like the mountains exploded out the side, and the lava dome that has been building over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
But we saw nothing.
Yeah.
We saw literally nothing.
It opens up to like just white, like a sheet of white fog.
It wasn't even like if we went closer, we could have seen something.
No, not even kind of.
It was just completely obscure.
Yeah. It was pretty funny actually.
Yeah, but the actual, like, wandering around and stuff was pretty rad. And, and as you said, we had, like, mean sing-alongs when we came back.
Yeah.
And,
we had to stay awake. It was very late.
It was very late by the time we got back. It was, I think we were gone for like 12 hours or something, weren't we?
It was pretty intense. And, we're trying to find a restaurant, and
God, that's right. Yeah.
We were trying to go to this place called was it like the Quesadilla Factory?
Yes, it was the Quesadilla Factory.
And it said it was open, but it was not. Because they didn't have their hours listed, so Google doesn't know what to do with that information. So
instead, Google's like, it's probably open, I guess.
Right. So if you run a small business, make sure your hours are listed clearly on your site so Google can find those.
Also, just as an aside, make sure your address is listed clearly as well, because the amount of times I've tried to go to a place and it turns out it's actually around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, from working in SEO stuff, that was one of the things we would always have to, like, tweak on sites, is, like, make sure they're all uniform and their address is listed the same everywhere, or else they'll get, like, all these duplicate listings in the business listings and stuff. So then it's like, wait, is it, like, on this block, that block? So, yeah, it's important. Make sure those match. But we ended up finding this way better.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Because it was Vicky's Salvadorian restaurant. So it was like authentic food from Salvador.
El Salvador, yes.
Yeah. And oh my God, it was so
good. It was so good.
And Brittany even said, you know what's the problem is going to be is this place is going to be amazing and I'm never going to be able to come back here because it's too far. And she was right.
She was right. Yeah. There was, because I'd never had Salvadorian food before. I don't know.
No, I hadn't either.
Like, so in New Zealand, Mexican food is very, 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 very limited.
Right.
When we had tacos last night and Brittany was like, do you want corn tortillas or flour tortillas? And Mexican food is so limited in New Zealand that I was like, oh my God, corn tortillas, yes please. Holy shit.
Never heard of this crazy thing.
Crazy idea. So there was like rice and beans and
I don't think I'd ever had refried black beans before. Usually they're the pinto beans.
Pinto beans, yeah.
And they tasted amazing.
So good. Like it was one of those things where you take like one bite and you're like, oh, this is really, this is actually super good. Yes,
for sure. Like I think all ordered way too much food.
Oh, well, because we had no idea. I like those, because the specialty there was, pupusas. That's what they were called.
Yeah, because Brittany's like, there's this papoose place. I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. She was like, ooh, pupusas, let's go. And everyone in the car's like, we don't know what those are. We don't. It's late. We're hungry. What is that?
Exactly.
Is it edible?
And I'm like, will the kids eat anything here? Turns out, yes.
Yes. So a pupusa is a tortilla.
Right.
This is what I think it was based on the two that I ate. It's a tortilla, and then you put stuff on it, and then you put another tortilla on top, and then you fry it.
Yeah.
Not like deep fry or anything.
But just pan fry.
Pan fry, yeah.
It had like beans and pork and cheese. What was that flour thing you guys got?
I honestly cannot remember what it was called. It was called like la cora or something like that. It was la cora and cheese. It's not called that. Please don't at me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like don't get me wrong, the pork and cheese one was amazing.
Yeah.
If I'd had two of those, I would have been totally happy. But the flour one was super interesting. Like it was really, like it was really savory.
Yeah.
But also it was like a little bit sweet as well. And then there was cheese in there as well, which is just like another whole friggin' dimension. And then there was this chicken tamale, and like I'd only ever had a tamale like once before in my life, so that was out of this world as well. So
yeah, that reminded me. I was going to tell you this at dinner, but I kept forgetting. So at work one time, the boss was there and one of our other coworkers, and they're like, hey, we should go to the tamale place for lunch. And I'm like, I've never heard of, I've worked here for years and no one has ever mentioned a tamale place. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. So we walk through town and I'm like, the only restaurant that I see is the teriyaki place that I go to all the friggin' time. So I'm like, what is this tamale place? And it turned out it was actually just like a little market, but they also made homemade tamales and sold them. But they made it sound like a restaurant that served tamales. And they were amazing there too.
I need a pint of 2% and also two chicken tamales.
Exactly. It was just the strangest thing, but tamales are very good.
Tamales are very good. Yeah. Those you can't get in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere that doesn't,
Somebody.
but it's not like, hey, let's go and get some tamales from the tamale place.
Right.
That's not a thing.
No. And then you've basically been Uncle Kieran to the kids all week.
I have. Yes. Can I tell you something?
Yes.
It's about Mario.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't matter if you want to know about it or not.
Okay.
Because I will tell you.
Sure.
Bowser, he's a dinosaur. But also, if you have a power-up, like a superstar, you can destroy him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
That has been the last 6 days.
Mario Maker 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, I hear that's a game that exists.
Elliot is very obsessed with it. You can check out his levels. I think I linked him on Twitter.
Yep.
Mike Bachman currently has all the high scores on them.
He does, actually. Yeah, he's been very determined to beat all of the Geekly Children's Mario Maker levels.
Which is very good. Let's see, what else did we do? We played lots of games of The Thing again, which seems to be recurring.
It's a good game.
It's very good, yes. We did one full game with the 8 people.
It is very good with 8 people.
Yeah.
I enjoy the game a lot with 8 people.
And then we actually played a 6-player game with the kids, and I was not sure how that was going to go, but they seemed to have a really good time.
They did seem to have a good time in the end. I was concerned as well.
Yeah.
Mainly,
especially because ever since that first game, Elliot's been asking me a million questions about the game and the movie and the thing and how it works. And I'm just like, you are 6. Stop asking about this. You're just going to make yourself more scared.
And did he? Yes.
Of course he did. I basically had to explain the ending so that he would be like, okay with how things turn out.
Yeah. And even, there we go. So now we can... That's a smooth segue.
Yeah.
We watched So we watched The Thing, and that was a really good movie. And I did not realize going into it, because obviously I'd only played the board game. And the board game is really about, like, the deduction, like, who is the thing, kind of, that's the central idea about it. So I was expecting more of that from the movie.
Yeah.
So like when they're tied up on the chairs and stuff and, they're trying to figure out like who is the thing and like, who's been infected and that kind of thing.
Right.
That's what I was expecting more from the movie. Don't get me wrong. Gruesome body horror, dogs exploding, flamethrowers, all that kind of stuff. Equally as good. Very, very satisfied with that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what I was expecting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like in a good way.
Okay.
When what was the name of the guy, like the last one who got infected, and they lay him out on the table and his whole body just like he's the one whose his head drops off and it turns into a spider.
I don't remember all their names.
Yeah. Brittany knows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When his like whole deal was going off, oh my god, it was so disgusting.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yep. They actually used a double amputee for the practical effect.
What?
Where he like puts the paddles against the guy's chest and it bites his hands off.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, a friend of mine was recently watching it and tweeting a bunch of like fun facts about the movie as he was watching it. So like they used a half wolf dog for like half husky, half wolf for the infected dog at the beginning because they wanted it to look slightly off, and it sure does.
It sure does, yeah.
Because it's like way too smart and way too intense for a regular dog.
Yes.
And it always just looks like it's up to something. And as soon as it goes in with the other dogs, they start freaking out, which is what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, the dogs in that movie were incredibly well trained, though.
Yes, I believe while we were watching it, I think it was you who said it was like, wow, I never really noticed, but these dogs are great actors.
Yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration or a joke. Those dogs are really good.
Yeah. Yeah, especially that wolf, man. He was super well trained.
Yeah, he was. He was amazingly well trained. The Thing. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It is
check it out.
super gross.
Yes.
Like,
if you're averse to icky stuff.
Definitely stay away.
There's a lot of slimy puppets.
Oh, so many more than I expected as well.
I kind of always forget how gross it goes, too.
And how quickly it gets there as well.
It's like, oh, this thing's a monster, and oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah. I think is the dog is the first, like, monster to show up? Yeah. So, like, it's there, and I was like, oh, I wonder if, dog death in the first, like, 20 minutes of the film. And then the Thing dog's head just bursts open and tentacles flat, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it just keeps going and going and going and going.
Crazy.
It's nuts how
Yeah.
quickly it goes from how quickly it goes from 0 to 60.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kilometer. Wait, no. Is it 0 to 100?
0 to 100, yeah.
Okay.
0 to 100 real quick.
Yes. But yeah, it was good. I also made sure you saw all of I Think You Should Leave.
Yes. Oh my god.
Because
that is so
I've
funny.
had too many sketches stuck in my head for so long, and I knew you hadn't seen it, so I'm couldn't.
Well.
Yes.
It isn't the waitress from Applebee's.
So there's a sketch. So that sketch is from The Characters, which is like a Netflix show where every episode's a different comedian doing the sketches. So that was kind of like a proto episode of I Think You Should Leave. But it has the best sketch, which is the gun barn sketch.
It's just go watch it.
Yes. Find The Characters. That whole episode is really funny, but the last sketch is fantastic. And also the very last sketch of I Think You Should Leave. I do not want to spoil.
Yeah.
But you have to see it.
Absolutely have to watch it. Jonah was telling me last night, because we watched a bunch of episodes last night, and it was hilarious. The Instagram caption one. I laughed so hard I hurt myself a little bit because I was just cackling.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he was like, "Oh, we definitely need to watch the rest of this tomorrow night because the very last sketch is amazing."
Yeah,
and I kept sitting there being like, "Is this the last one? Is this the last one?" And then the last one came up. And I didn't realize it was the last one. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, I know where this is going.
Yeah. No.
I didn't know where it was going. And where it went was fucking amazing.
Yes.
And we also had a lot of barbecue.
Oh yeah. We,
cause it was 4th of July as well.
Right. So 4th of July, we did, the standard burgers, chicken, all that stuff. But then Brittany did her normal thing of going way above and beyond and making like 15 pounds of pulled pork.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing. But we're going to have pulled pork for like the next month because there's a lot
of pulled pork. Because we had pulled pork burgers, and then we had pulled pork tacos, which were amazing. Pulled pork nachos tonight, also amazing.
Yes.
And there's still like another 3 bags of it left.
I know. That's the problem we had last year, too, when we did pulled pork. But, it went really well. We had a bunch of people, some of whom I didn't know. And then
it's okay.
And then we had another barbecue a few days later where a bunch of our other friends came over and we played Treasure Island, which I had never heard of the game. I mean, I've obviously heard of the book.
Yeah. That was the other thing.
And it's really cool. Like, I actually need to get a copy now because basically the person running the game is Long John Silver, and they've hidden a treasure somewhere on the map. And the rest of you are other, like, famous pirates and stuff, and you're looking for the treasure, but you actually have to use, like, this compass and, like, wander around and, like, search for it and stuff. It's like, at first we're like, oh, this is easy, and then by the end we're like, there's no way, how are we supposed to find this?
Because, like, you all start off in, like, a little circle,
right?
So and there's 4 of us, and so you all start off in a little circle, and it's like, the first hint that we got was that it was south of 2 players, and that cut off like a third of the map.
Right.
And so we're all like, oh, this game is whatever. Like, who even cares?
Easy
and
game.
And like 45 minutes in, and we're all just like, well, I guess Long John Silver's going to win because we have no idea what the treasure is.
Yeah, and then they're like, the person playing as Long John Silver has to keep giving us clues for the first like 5 rounds or so.
Yeah, something like that.
But they get tokens where they can be bluffing, but they can choose whether or not to use them.
That wound me up so much.
Yeah.
I was getting very annoyed.
And then you have your own little mini map that's like hidden behind basically a dungeon master screen.
Yeah.
And you can like make your own
master screen.
Yes. So you're making your own notes, and by the end it's like dry erase markers, and by the end all of our maps were just mess of scribbles with our notes all over them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend that game. It is very cool.
It was one of those things where I was like, I was kind of like, that sounds pretty cool. And then we sort of played it for a little bit, and I was like, this seems a bit dumb. And by the time we got to the end, I was like, actually, that was really rad.
Yeah.
And it does, like, the mechanics itself seem really complicated when you first kind of learn them. Mm-hmm. And then as we kind of like played a little bit more, you kind of like buy into the theme of it a little bit more, I think. Right. And you're like, oh, okay. And like, think it does a really good job. Someone asked me on Twitter what it was, and I described it as like a cartography board game.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, which sounds lame, but it is actually really fun. I really enjoyed that.
I mean, there's even one of those, like, what are those called? The compass?
Sextant,
where it's like...
Is it called a sextant?
Probably.
Yeah, why not?
It's the thing that you draw circles and stuff with, and like...
I mean, that's a compass, but a sextant is a cooler word.
Okay,
so let's say that.
And there's actually one of the clues that you can get randomly from Long John Silver is basically whoever's playing as him draws a circle on the board and like basically 2 circles, and then it's like it's got to be within this radius.
Yeah, that helped us
and
a ton.
That's the only reason we found the treasure. And this was like the very end of the game.
Yeah. There was like 2 turns left before he gets out of jail and then has to run to the treasure himself.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure he would have made it if he got out.
Oh yeah. So yeah, very good. I would recommend checking that one out. And then we also played
The Thing.
Besides The Thing, we played the new Choose Your Own Adventure board game.
Oh, yes.
Because they had one, we had one last year that's the House of Danger.
Yeah, House of Danger.
And we played a bunch of it at GeeklyCon, which we didn't finish, so I want to bring it so we can continue our game. Ryan says that he has his photos still somewhere.
Yes. I hope he does.
Yeah, so
I'm just going to message him and say, like, make sure you get those ready.
Yes. But this one's actually a little different. I mean, it's still like, reading it and then you have your choices and stuff. But it actually has like, instead of one character you're all playing as, there's 4 characters. So if you're playing with 4 players or less, you can actually assign characters. But we had more, so we're just like, whatever. It said in there, like, you're just all the characters then. Yeah. You just kind of group decision everything, which I think
you're a collective consciousness.
Yeah, exactly. So there was... Flipto, who's like this alien who's like...
He was a Martian.
Yes, he's a Martian who's like the chill one on your team. Which has like...
He wears shorts.
Yes, he wears shorts. He was... Yeah, that guy cracked me up. There's like a robot, like one-eyed weird robot. Drizzt or something.
Yeah, Drizzt. Yeah, Drizzt or the robot.
Yes, and what was the lady's name?
It was like... Dana or something like that.
Right. And then
she was cool, and she had strong handshakes.
Yes.
And powerful like hurrahs or something.
Yes, the descriptions on the back of them are really funny.
Very funny, yes.
And then there's the like main regular ass human guy that's like the leader.
Lame.
It's like Captain Chen or something.
Chen, yeah.
And they like even kind of make fun of him on the card for being lame.
It's just like, yeah, here's Kirk, but like Diet Kirk.
Right. And basically this one is like in search of the evil Power Master.
Yeah.
And you are going to all these different planets, and then they each have their own story deck. So instead of it being just like one massive deck that you're going through, like the first one, this one you like we only ended up going to 2 planets or something?
Yeah. So there's like eight planets on the board, yeah.
So it's kind of cool because the first one doesn't have a lot of replayability. Like, if you're playing with a totally different group, you'll get different decisions from the first one.
But it's still the same, like, overall story.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like, the way I described it to Steph was like that the first one is like, you play a chapter, take a break, play a chapter, take a break. Whereas this one, like, it's more designed for you to play through the whole story, find the evil Power Master, defeat him or not, in our case.
Yes.
And then come back to it later and play it again with different planets and like a different final confrontation. Because I think there's like 4 or 5 different confrontations.
Yeah, and then even the starting planet is you roll to figure out what planet you're going to. It has like the star chart and like, 1 through 6 or whatever for the rolls, which is a good way to do it because it mixes it up, and then you can't just cheat and pick the ones that clearly have bigger numbers on them to push you towards your goal.
That game was really good. I would definitely pick up a copy of both of them, actually, to be honest.
And it was just as ridiculous as the first one. Like, the first one starts pretty normal and then gets really buck wild.
Yeah.
This one, we went to Earth first, and it was like time was all messed up, and there were cavemen and cowboys, and you had to beat a samurai in a game of Go Fish at one point.
You got a dinosaur egg from one of the cowboys.
Right.
And then you gave it to a pack of laser-wielding raptors so that they would then take you to the samurai who wanted to play Go Fish.
Right. And you also, if you were worried that the weird banana monsters from the last game were going to be absent, they're back.
They're back, yeah.
And in fact, we had to fight some, and we turned them into banana pudding and ate them.
And then we were hoisted upon our own petard, shrunk, and eaten by the evil Power Master.
So we did not win.
And it was... Oh, that's right. There was all the descriptions of the evil Power Master eating you were very, very, shall we say, sensual. His throbbing vulva at one point. Sorry, his uvula, not his vulva. At one point while you were reading the card, I just said, "Is this vor?"
Yeah. Well, we were like, well, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Of how we all died at the end.
Yeah. What else are we up to?
We watched a bunch of Ghibli movies.
Oh, yeah. Because I've never seen Totoro or
Spirited
Away. Yeah. Both are very good.
Yeah.
Both are very, very good.
And Cora was very offended we watched Spirited Away without her.
Yes.
The next morning she saw the DVD was out, or the Blu-ray was out. It's like, you watched this without me?
Yeah. She said the exact same thing to me. She was like, Spirited Away is one of my favorite films. I mean, I really like that film.
Yeah. Okay.
And she was she was giving me that evil eye.
Oh yeah.
I was withering underneath that gaze. Withering.
I mean, she has several shirts from those movies.
Yeah, but no, I enjoyed both those films. Totoro, I kept waiting for like the turn,
right, or something horrible,
was going to happen, or like it was going to get really depressing. Like, have you seen Bridge to Terabithia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, spoilers for Bridge to Terabithia. One of the kids dies in the film, and it is very sudden and very dramatic, and it's really good. Like it's a turn in the story that like really hits you, but it's super sad. And I was waiting for the exact same thing to happen in Totoro.
So we also planning our panel until like today. We finally had some good ideas.
Yeah. What's far as I'm aware, I don't think Mike's done anything for it either. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Don't throw our guest under the bus like that. What if he doesn't want to come now?
Too late. He's already going to be there.
Oh, fair. I think he has to be. It's in his contract.
You know, it might actually be.
Yeah. Exactly. You want that Patreon money? You gotta
go be GeeklyCon. So
speaking of, we'll be at GeeklyCon in a week.
Yeah, I believe so. So hang on, let me just.
We'll have our panel about weird multiverse stuff.
Let me check when this is going to be.
Sure.
When this one's going to be posted. Okay.
And we will have some prizes. I bought a couple of Funko Pops that I'm going to give out, and also some comics. So if Funko Pops aren't your thing, I got comics, and vice versa. So you can come to the panel either
So
way.
Checking my dates, we'll be at GeeklyCon this week.
Oh. What?
I know.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, because this comes out on the 15th.
Oh man. Okay.
So this drops on the feed on the main feed.
Okay.
Next Monday. So
wow.
So we'll be at GeeklyCon in like 4 days.
Yikes. Okay. Well, we hope to see you there.
We will see you there.
Come to our panel.
Yeah.
Fill up that room. Win some prizes.
And even if you don't come to the panel, just say hi to us anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
we're nice people.
Uh-huh.
I like to think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've been told we're the goodest boys.
By Michael. Yes.
By Michael.
And he has good taste.
I agree. I mean, he did let us on the network.
He did let us on the network.
Obviously.
And he also came on our show as well.
That's true. Check those episodes out. They were very, very fun.
Very good. Yes. Yeah. I enjoyed those a lot.
I was also very pleasantly surprised. I did not know what to expect from that book. And I ended up really liking it.
And I really like it. Yeah, it was really good.
I think it's just because we've been burned on Michael.
Yeah.
But unlike that one where it was picked based on like a listicle of like, these are funny mangas. Yeah. This was actually one he liked ahead of time.
Yes.
So that helps a lot.
Yeah. He and Carly had watched a lot of the anime.
Yeah. We actually watched a few of the episodes and they're pretty good.
Is it good? Yeah. I haven't checked it out, of course.
But I guess
I'm bad at watching TV.
Well, and I heard it's one of those where like, my computer's feeling good.
Whew.
Okay.
That was lucky.
Anyway,
we'll be at GeeklyCon in like 4 days. You should come say hi. Our panel's going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome. And I'm going to save this now because I'm worried that it's going to eat this recording because my computer's being very weird tonight.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, thanks for staying at my house for a week. It was really fun.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. We should do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe in like a year?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye. I love you.